Despite disagreeing with Senator Obama that some Americans are bitter, Senator Clinton argues that she too will bring change to America. Change, of course, the solution whenever people are not content or happy. The opposite of content and happy, the Roger Thesaurus tells us, is bitter. In our fourth story tonight, lost in the debate over the impact of the Obama statement, the debate over the truth of that statement. A new Washington Post poll finding that disapproval, another antonym for content, is at an all-time high for President Bush's handling of the economy. While fewer than 3 out of 10, 28%, a whopping, or they're unbitter about it, a whopping 70% are, if not bitter, then at least unbitter. Why? As Obama said today, anyone filling up their gas tank gets angry. Anyone who watched their community die when a plant closed is mad. On a larger scale, every working American has some cause for bitterness. In 2008, every 5 American workers produced just as much as 6 American workers did just a decade ago. So, of course, incomes rose 20% as well? No, they've gone down. The Bush recovery, the first in which average incomes fell. Senator McCain's prescription today included a 1-year freeze on discretionary spending, the kind of spending that helped end the Great Depression. Oh, and removing the federal gas tax for the summer, which would cut $11 billion from spending to fix crumbling roads and bridges, possibly causing some laid-off construction workers to get a little bitter. Joining us now, content and happy as ever, MSNBC political analyst Rachel Maddow, whose own show on Air America airs on weeknights. Hello.
Hi, Keith.
Whether clinging to their guns or just clinging to the side of the proverbial economic cliff, are Americans bitter, Rachel Maddow?
Well, when we're looking at the possibility of nearly 1 in 10 Americans expected to be on food stamps next year, yeah, I would say that Americans are bitter. You know, but the specific claim that Barack Obama made here was that people are bitter about the prospect of getting economic help from Washington. What he said is, if through 25 years, through Democratic and Republican administrations, if through all of that time the plants don't stop closing and the good middle-class jobs never come back, if you don't ever get help from Washington, no matter what politicians promise you, then you don't react like an insane person would and keep voting on economic issues, even though you're not getting any reward for that vote. You instead stop voting on that basis, and you instead start voting on values issues. And he cited guns and religion and immigration and xenophobia. He could have also cited, you know, flag pins or abortion or any other list of reasons that are just things that supplant the economic vote when you don't have a rational reason to continue to vote in your economic self-interest.
Yeah, he wasn't describing Americans as bitter because of these issues of the economy as much as being bitter at the fact that nothing was being done about these issues decade after decade.
Exactly.
All right, why would Clinton and McCain deny that there is this kind of discontent?
Because it's so much easier to attack Barack Obama on this issue. I mean, Senator Clinton has proposed some very progressive economic policies in this campaign, undoubtedly. But pivoting to offense on the basis of what Senator Obama said, instead of attacking him for it, would undoubtedly open up questions about why the Bill Clinton presidency didn't produce a more resilient middle class. I mean, former Republican Congressman Joe Scarborough, Morning Joe here on MSNBC, yesterday admitted on Race to the White House that, yes, Republican vote, when working class, when poor Americans vote Republican, they are often voting against their economic interest in order to kind of plight their trough on issues of values and culture with the Republicans. Joe's not running for re-election, so it's okay for him to admit that. That's toxic, politically toxic for John McCain.
Obama is blaming both political parties for this. Is that fair? Is that useful to him in terms of the campaign as well?
Whether it's politically useful, I think, remains to be seen, because the vociferous attacks on him, I think, have done some damage. Whether it's factually true, well, I think it's kind of true. When in November 2006, when economic populist Democrats like Sherrod Brown won the Senate seat in Ohio, he didn't campaign on the basis of needing to get more Democrats to Washington. He campaigned on economic populist ground that there needed to be people there looking out for people who have to work for a living rather than just the people who sign the paychecks. And that sort of economic populist message has resonated with people who are critical of the modern Democratic Party as much as the Republicans.
And the last point, if you get John McCain today trying to attack the Democrats for both being elitist and for raising taxes, and he tries to make a play on Obama's book title, and he winds up referring to the audacity of hope you don't mind, is that by itself a reason to be bitter or hopeless about politicians? The guy can't even get the shot right.
I'm pretty bitter about Cindy McCain stealing her recipes from Rachel Ray. I'm bitter about that.
Well, we'll get to that in a little bit.
I'm excited to hear it.
Rachel Maddow of MSNBC and Air America. I haven't seen you since you filled in. Nice job.
Thank you.
Thank you for doing so.
I was very happy to do it.
Well, now I get a few days off here and again. Always a pleasure. Stay well.